My name's Kieran Gardner podcast. Welcome to another episode.
Oh, dude, I like that so much. I like that so much.
Kieran Gardner, thank you for being here.
No problem.
Hell yeah. Well, welcome, Kieran. Welcome to G in-house. Hell yeah, dude. Right, hell yeah. Right on. And to those of you at home, thanks for joining us again this week, you guys. Brought to you by Le Capitan Restaurant. And I also want to say that this episode of the Sit Down Podcast is sponsored by Inspired Vapor Company. So if you guys are trying to quit smoking like I am, hit those... Again, yeah. Hit those guys up. Blaine and Kevin, we partnered with them. They're freaking amazing, man, and they can guide you through like a plan on how to reduce your nicotine habit through vaping. So hit them up. Use promo code FUNKY15 for 15% off any purchases throughout the year.
Online and in store.
That's right. There's 5 locations. Yeah, just look them up. Inspired Vapor Company. Yeah. Kieran. Hello, sir. How was your drive into good old Bellevue, Saskatchewan?
Well, I mean, definitely the train's a bit different. I mean, once I got off the Highway 41, and then it just started, there's like hills everywhere. I was like, what's going on? This is Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. I mean, there's a couple times where there's just washboard out of nowhere, but other than that, I mean, it's not too far of a hike. Some alone time.
Well, you grew up in Saskatchewan. You know how it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right on. Where in Saskatchewan are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
So I'm from a small town called Clavet. It's about 15 or so minutes southeast Saskatoon. So it's not like we are a small town where you got to have you don't have a grocery store or anything. We just kind of got to go to Saskatoon for that. But we still kind of have the environment, still have our hometown hockey team, football team, all that stuff. So
heck yeah.
I love it. I love not having to be in all the clutter. Like, I don't know. I like even driving in the city just gives me anxiety.
I hear you, man.
That's why we're here.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
And that's why G is nodding too.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be in the city.
You get nice clear skies too, right?
Yeah.
There's no smog there.
Exactly.
You get to see the stars. Yeah, man. It's beautiful.
Quiet. I mean, I live right by, they moved the highway like right beside my yard, but it's still, you're not hearing, like maybe you hear the odd train or like a Jake break from a semi, but other than that, it's nice and quiet. I went and stayed at my grandma's one time and I couldn't sleep because it was just in the middle of the city.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Too loud.
Yeah. Absolutely. My wife wants to, she's a city girl, and you know, we always have that debate of do we want to move back to this or move to the city or whatever. I wouldn't be able to handle it, man. Like you said, just too much noise, traffic's too close, all that.
I'm originally from the city, and now that I'm here, there's no way I'm going to go back.
That you're going back?
No. Well, I mean, the convenience of, having the grocery store around the corner and buying a bag of chips when you want to, that kind of stuff is handy, but
then you just spend more money that way.
Yeah, exactly.
So Kieran, we got to meet you at an open stage for the first time. Forgive me, I don't remember how far back that was when we saw you, but I do remember the impact that you left on the room that night. And there's been like a trajectory of amazing things that have been happening with you in your career since that night. I honestly didn't know of you prior to that. So I don't know if it has all been planned, or was it just from like that holy shit moment that night at the Capitol, or I really don't know.
I remember talking to Jesse Weeman, and you were recording with him, and Jesse told me like, I should bring Kieran. And I'm like, yeah, you should. And then the next week or 2 weeks after, you showed up and it was like, holy crap.
It all started with Jesse. Jesse told me about it, and then, I mean, it's always just been fun to just go and hang out at the Capitol, grab a burger with Dad, and just listen to other musicians. And the one thing I love about it is just how it's not just like people like me per se, where it's just like country. There's all sorts of different types of music going on. And then I met you guys, and you was like, hey, like I do a podcast. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then we kind of planned out to try and get on before my release, which didn't end up happening, but I'm glad to be here now. And that open mic kind of just led to a big chain of events for me after that, because Mitch, the owner of the Capitol, said he heard me play, and Steven Lee Olsen was coming to town. And he asked if I wanted to open for him, and then after I brought in a pretty good crew for that, he asked me if I wanted to headline my own show. And then just last weekend, got together with my band of boys from Clavet, and we sold out the whole place, and it was so much fun.
Frick yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I
crazy.
can't imagine the feat. So that was your very first headlining show, correct?
Yeah, very first headlining show, yeah.
Oh my God. I'm so excited and happy for you, man. Sold out show, first time going in. I can only imagine the emotions that you must have felt throughout that show, as well as like coming down from that cloud nine after the fact, right? Could you tell us a little bit about it going into that show?
I mean, so I'm very grateful to have a band of guys that I kind of grew up around, and I don't have, like, they're not in it for the money, they're in it for the enjoyment of just playing music. Absolutely. And they just love practicing, they love playing. So I got really lucky with these guys, and I tell them every day after every show that I'm thankful. And we got together about a month and a half prior to the show. We just kind of put together a set list of tunes, that originals and tunes that everyone will know, everyone's favorite country songs, some Zach Bryan, some Brooks and Dunn, everything like that. And we kind of just came up with this set list, and we were prepared for it. And once it came, like, I couldn't sleep the night before the show. I was just electric. And then in the morning, we headed into Long and McQuaid and grabbed anything we might need. And then we were there half hour before load in and sound check. And then I had an awesome opener, Evan Baxter. He was there just every step along the way, hanging out in the green room, just chatting. Got to meet his band, and the sound guy Colin made everything a lot easier for us, and the sound check and everything like that.
Because Colin is the best sound guy in
Saskatchewan. Hell yeah.
But yeah,
just for the record, he hates it when we say that. That's why we keep saying it.
Well,
you are, buddy.
From my experience, Colin, you are the best sound guy.
Oh yeah, dude. Agreed.
So that was actually one of my questions. Like, were you nervous? Were you worried that it wouldn't sell out? Did you have the tickets sold before? How did that go?
So I would, like, not to sound cocky, but I was like 90% sure that I could sell it out, just because hometown crowd. Like, I knew there's gonna be a bunch of friends and family coming, and Evan had friends and family coming too. So we did sell it out about, I think it was a week and a half before the show. It was sold out, all in advance tickets online. And as soon as it sold out, you would not believe how many people were just so lazy and didn't get their tickets that texted me and were like, I can't get tickets anymore. I'm like, no, you can't. But
yep,
that's besides the point. But just sitting in the green room listening to Evan play, and he killed it out there. Like, he had some rock, some country, just kind of good variety, and incredibly talented band. And so I was sitting in the green room. I was like, hey, boys, well, we got to put on a show that's like, because, like, I am all for having an opener that's just as good or better than you, because I don't like when people try and pick people out and be like, they're not as good, it's going to make me seem way better.
Yep.
I like to put on a whole show. Like, people want to come. Like, sure, I'm only playing an hour and a half set, but I want people to enjoy the whole 2 hours they're sitting there listening to music.
Yep. Exactly.
So that's where I got very grateful that Evan is another guy around my age that loves doing what I do. So, but he killed it out there. And then as we head up on stage, I mean, of course you get that little nervous tinge, but it's really only for the first song. You know, like, you kind of stutter your first word, your legs start shaking a little bit, but that's just all part of the fun. Once everyone in the crowd starts packing in front of the stage, as they do, it just gets a lot easier. Everyone's singing the words back to you. You're just kind of like going along with the vibe, and like the boys, everywhere you look around, like a drummer's got a smile on his face, and like we did a little. I told everyone my hand was cramping and asked if I could play the drums, but then my guitarist came and sang a couple songs, and I went and played the drums, and
oh hell yeah,
we just like to put on a whole thing, and that's kind of why I feel like I love it so much. Is it's just kind of like a passion just for people to enjoy what we do up there. So it wasn't necessarily as nerve-wracking as I really thought it was going to be either. And it was a great experience. And I'm glad to do it again. So this is a song I've been working on for a bit. This one's called Last of My Kind. Road isn't easy. It's not the miles you drive, it's where you're sleeping in the evenings. In a world full of people trying to slow you down. Put your foot to the floor, take the exit out of town. They say the first cut cuts the deepest. They know the pain
this life is your love. They say that I'm the last of my kind, but yet in the end I'm still falling behind. I'm up before work at 5. I make sure that I'm quiet so your dreams stay alive. And even if I'm hours out of town, I still make the drive just to see, 'cause I can and I love you, girl. You're the force that is spinning my world. Boys these days don't do all they can. I guess it's too hard just to be a good man. They say that I'm the last of my kind, but yet in the end I'm still falling behind. I'm up before work at 5. I make sure that I'm quiet so your dreams stay alive. Even if I'm hours out of town, I still make the drive just to see you, 'cause I can and I love you, girl. You're the force that is spinning my world.
Is
That's
there
awesome.
is there a big I'm sure there is, but okay, from when we saw you performing at an open stage and then you're on that same stage but to a sold out crowd, is it significantly different, like in comparison from performing 20 minutes at an open stage and doing an hour and a half set on stage?
I feel like the biggest difference is more like when you're at an open mic, you kind of feel like you got something to prove because you don't know anyone. No one in the crowd knows who you are. You're just kind of like trying to show them what you got.
Right.
As when I played my show, I knew a lot of faces in the crowd, or like I recognized some. And it just kind of made it like, these people know what I am. These people are here to see me. They've heard me before. So like, let's just make it even better than the last time they were here. So I think it just kind of took down the edge a little bit as well with, you wouldn't believe how much it helps when they have the lights off in the back and you can't see anything but like the first 2 rows of people. It's like I'm singing to 20 people with a full band. And I like playing with a full band better because like, if I mess up my words, Trey will just do a little guitar solo and no one will know what happened.
Heck yeah.
They'll just be like, that was planned all along. But like, I was talking to Evan about this too. He's like, yeah, well, I wanted a band because there's so much more pressure on you when you're a solo act, because you can either mess up your guitar and everyone's going to notice, you can mess up your singing, everyone's going to notice. But if you have a full band and one of you guys messes up, no one's going to notice.
Right. The other guys pick it up to help hide it, right?
Other guys pick it up. Other guys they keep going, and people just think maybe they don't really pay attention to it. So that's kind of one thing that I enjoy about playing with a band versus like at an open mic. But
So how did it all get started? How young
where
was
did the
Kieran?
music in you stem from?
So, I mean, my grandpa played guitar. He passed away before I was born, but he played guitar and my mom always talk about him. And when I was thinking it's like my sixth birthday or something, I got a little mini like Fender Strat. And I played that for about a year, but you know how like most kids are when they're like 7 years old, they don't really want to practice. So I was just kind of like, I didn't do that. But I could play Happy Birthday, and I was also getting taught to read music, and by that time I could barely read a book. So I was just kind of like, oh, this is too much.
Right.
So I kind of set it down, and then I always loved to sing. I was always singing Ed Sheeran and stuff, which is not really what I do now. But then I decided, I was like, okay, I think I want to get back into guitar lessons. And then kind of from there, kept playing, started posting videos and kind of got somewhere. And then one day I met a girl named Eden at just a gathering, and we became friends over a while. And she introduced me to Jesse. And Jesse, that would have been 2 years ago is when I got my first message from Jesse. Like, we went and sat down and went through my songs, recorded a song. That one still hasn't been released, but then we just Jesse's definitely helped me so much in my music career with just like, he's always has good advice. He's always there to help me write. He's always there to help me tune up songs. And he's also introduced me into more people. And like another thing I could think of person to thank was like, before I had my license, I had this friend, and she had her license, so she'd come pick me up and we'd just go drive around, and I'd play in like McDonald's parking lots and just like random places. And
Kind of like
then-
busking.
Exactly. We're not really busking, but like whenever there's just like a group of people that we all knew, they'd be like, "You have your guitar," and that was my thing. Is I'd always just keep it on me.
Yeah.
I'd be strapped. So I'd always just be playing songs for people, and then now those people have turned into my supporters, and I feel like going from a 14-year-old to now me being older, my voice has matured a lot, and I've gotten a lot. I've progressed a lot more, and especially in my writing and really my whole music area. So the people who thought I was good back then now are still fans. So I don't know. I feel like it's gone really fast recently, especially. The first big thing I could probably note would be we did this thing. Cooper Chapeau was one of my buddies. He's from around the same area, and he has this thing called Koopalooza, which I told you guys about earlier. But he has this big backyard show on his back deck and had the Brothers G open for him this year and just like a bunch of crazy good stuff. And he played, and I went the second year. My second year going was this year. And then I was like, you know what? Why don't we do something like this? So at that point, I was a solo act. So I texted one of my buddies. I knew he played guitar, and I was like, I know that this guy plays the bass, and I think his brother can play the drums. So we just kind of talked about it. I talked about it one day with one of the brothers, and then they were all on board, and we got together practicing in the little corner of a basement in Bradwell, Saskatchewan, and then we played our backyard bash, which ended up selling. We had 400 people in my backyard. It was awesome. Fireworks, big speakers. It was a whole.
Dude, I freaking
It was
love
great,
this.
and we had a sound guy in a little trailer, and we had a whole stage set up on a flat deck trailer, and our green room was a school bus it's painted green, and it's called the Cougar Bus. And overall, it was like such a great experience, and especially like to see people, because I feel like since COVID, concerts have kind of died out. And to see people like the younger people like my age coming to just see live music and have fun with all their friends was just kind of like a heartwarming moment, because I feel like after the pandemic, unless it was someone playing at SaskTel Center, no one really went to go see shows anymore. They just kind of like, they can see everything on their phone. So why would you go? So I feel like it was a sign to me that maybe I should start actually performing, because I've been doing this just social media for a while.
Right.
So, but like that backyard bash kind of changed my perspective, as well as kind of got me and the boys together. So I think that's probably one of our biggest milestones, is something like that. And then on came me opening for Steven Lee Olsen after the open mic there, and then he offered me my own headlining show, Mitch at the Capitol, and we played that, and it was just, I think we got a good start as a band together, and we practice all the time, and we kind of talked about it yesterday at practice, how like our future in general and what would happen if we all went big. But like obviously just reminiscing about it, but I feel like these guys have just as much passion as I do, and no one flakes on band practice. Everyone's always down. We could get 2 in a week. Everyone's fitting it in after work, and like, so in the end, it all works out, and we've been having a great time doing it. So
I think that's the main thing, is like, as long as you're having a good time doing it, keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm like, it's clearly working for you. You know what I mean?
So when you guys were dreaming all of this up, like where are you going?
Yeah, what's the goal here?
We were talking like world tour, like just as like a thing, and my bass player is like, well, I don't think I can do it. I want a family and all this stuff. And I was like, hey, well, so let's say the next 5 years. You're just like, he's in education, like, and so he's like, well, if we actually made it big and we had the chance to go on, like, and I wasn't even thinking like stadiums. I was thinking more like the Coors Event Center and like just bigger venues like that, like going around, like theater rooms and stuff like that. And I just think it'd be great if people wanted to come listen to us. And our drummer was like, Jason, he was like, yeah, like that'd be awesome. Like, and same with my guitarist. He's like, well, we're all still young, so if it can happen before we get too serious into like our full-time jobs and having families and stuff, like we might as well just do it. And I was like, that's what I was thinking. I mean, I'm the youngest of all of them, but that's kind of where I saw ourselves as like, because like nowadays it doesn't take that long with all the social media to get some followers on your back, and it really just takes one of your songs to blow up. So it could, like, I've seen there's people that have blown up overnight, and like you just kind of gotta. I just started thinking about that the other day, and that's kind of the outcome I came with, was just like I had to talk with the boys.
So. Right. I kind of like that saying, like you just said. Some people like blow up overnight. Just to be devil's advocate on that, I would argue that nobody blows up overnight. because what we're not seeing is all the work and effort that they've put into it leading up to that moment, that one hit song that got noticed or whatever. You're excluding like maybe 10 or 20 failed ones prior to that. You know what I mean? And all the studio time
And all the
rehearsals.
all the work that went into that video.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I thought that was a little interesting.
I also think it's interesting that, before we have our full-time jobs or before we have our careers, if it blows up, then music becomes your full-time career, right?
That's exactly what I was saying, because, excuse me, sorry. I'm going into plumbing next year, and luckily my dad will be my boss, but like that's something I feel like I can manage, because I'll be having like 8-hour days, and then I'll have like 4 till the evening to like write. And I plan on just like setting some time aside every day to kind of just, I've been working on recording some of my own stuff and then maybe getting it sent in to get fixed up and mastered. So as much as I can do on my own, I'd like to, but I'd obviously still wanting to pursue music, but not giving up on like the other half of my life.
Yeah.
I just don't really know if I'm ready to go all in as a teenager.
Right.
So, but I've definitely been thinking about the future and just having a plan for that. But the cool thing about being a plumber is if like, you do work as school pretty much. You do 3 weeks of school a year. The rest is work experience and hours you have to get done. So say we ended up blowing up and we went on a 4-month tour. I could just not do those 4 months, and it's not like I'd be missing anything.
Yeah.
And then I'd come back and I'd have to work the rest of my hours still.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm missing physical classes. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's where I'm in a decent spot.
Yep.
Hell yeah, dude. I think that's smart. It's
Yeah.
definitely an opportunity to grab a hold of. For
Yep.
sure, to pursue it. Definitely. I had another question there, too. Oh, you just recently released your first, is it your first single? Second single? How long ago was that?
So Strangers Again, my newest single, came out, January 12th. And it's kind of a slower song. It's about kind of like being in a relationship with someone and kind of breaking apart. And then next thing you know, like you see him in public or you see him at a party and like you barely even know him. You don't know what's going on in their life. You haven't talked to them and you're just kind of strangers again. And that song is, I feel like, is one that's really meaningful to me, and that's kind of what I like to do with my music, is make songs that people can relate to. And of course people are going to have bad opinions on it, but if it can help even like 5 people, that's just kind of what I aim for. But it was definitely a fun tune to write. And as soon as I wrote it like 2 a.m. one day when I had school the next day, and I texted it to Jesse and he answered me at like 10 a.m. the next day, and he's like, dude, this one's good. So we kind of put my other songs we were recording on hold, and we just finished this one up and got it out as soon as possible. And I'm happy with it, and I've gotten good feedback, and really that's all. I mean, it's been out for 3 weeks now.
Hell yeah. And how is it performing so far?
Well, I think it's got about 10,000 listens on Spotify, which is kind of usually what I look at to gauge my listens. Yeah. And like last December in a full year got 70,000. So I think like my first single, sorry.
Right.
And so I think we're on pretty good track. But I feel like I posted one video on TikTok that gained me 12,000 followers, probably just one video. And after like kind of putting myself out there more as a writer and an artist versus just singing covers, I think a lot of people discovered my song from that too, which definitely gave it a boost in the listens. I kind of noticed my list.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I fucking hate TikTok.
I know. That's what I've heard. I've listened to past TikTok or past podcasts, and everyone I say, someone mentions TikTok, and you just laugh. And
that's the running joke here. I don't know. It's
the irony is that he started a TikTok account for the podcast.
This one's called Strangers Again.
We used to have a love that fits just like a glove on a stormy night when the weather's right. We'll talk amongst the stars, and we used to make them boys jealous when we walk into the room. The smell of your sweet rose perfume, like the Mayflowers in full bloom. and you used to help my mom with dinner. By the time that water simmered, you'd call my name and we'd all pray. Thank the Lord for a beautiful day. I guess our love don't last forever, and the memories are all that we've got left. And sometimes I guess it's for the better, because my days with you still felt so blessed. How we spent years growing old together. I never thought I'd live to see the day that we end. You flew away fast as a feather, and now we're just strangers again. I spend my days working like a mule in the hell he ways of June. At the end of the day I'll call your name, but the answer stays the same. And my father says that it's time to get over the thought of you. Every time I smell the rain, it brings back all my pain. I guess some love don't last forever, and memories are all that we've got left. And sometimes I guess it's for the better, because my days with you still felt so blessed. Now we spend years growing old together. I never thought I'd live to see the day that we end. You flew away fast as a feather, and now we're just strangers again. We used to have love, the fish just like a glove on a stormy night. When the weather's right, we'll talk amongst the stars.
I view TikTok as a kind of a thing where you can take, because like there's really good artists everywhere, and it's really just you need a break to get to the higher level. And I think TikTok's really good for taking people who just come from singing amazing original songs like in their bedroom, and then once they get that, like people start hearing that and they start liking their voice and their songs. I feel like it's just a way to give people a break without having to go through, like, some people don't even have to go through all the recording and stuff to catch on. And then once they do, like if you get a song that everyone loves and people start using it in their videos and for trend, if you get your song as part of a trend, like I don't know if you guys know who Wyatt Flores is.
I don't.
He's another folk country singer, and he had this one song, Please Don't Go, that as soon as it caught on, I was just like, this guy's so good. And ever since I've been like, as soon as his music drops, I listen to it, and I followed him from TikTok. And I can think of other guys like Sam Barber is another name I can think of. I followed him when he had 10,000 followers singing in like a little gym kind of, I guess.
Right.
And then he released a song that caught on 2 months after it released, and now he's playing at Stagecoach. So it's.
And how many followers does he have?
Well, now he has over 2 million.
Yeah.
But like when I followed him maybe over a year and a half ago, he had maybe 15.
Interesting.
Yep.
And I'm at 15.2 thousand followers right now. So that's kind of where I'm trying to like find ways to promote music, and I'm figuring out which I record a lot. This is gonna sound weird, but I record a lot of videos in my bathroom, on literally
I know why. That's not
sitting
weird.
on the toilet.
Yeah.
And everyone always mentions my bathroom's kind of funky. I got a big deer above my head, and there's a fish tank, which the fish died, but that was a story for a later date. But
No, I want to hear this story. Keep going.
so that TikTok, first one I ever posted was, It was me in the bathroom, and it started just getting views just because I like the bathroom because there's like reverb. It just sounds cool.
Yeah,
it sounds
the
cool.
acoustics
Like,
of
the
it.
acoustics are good.
Yeah.
And I was playing a Zach Bryan song, and then that one got like 10,000 views overnight. I was like, what the heck? Maybe I should keep doing this. I posted another one next day. This one gets 600,000 views.
Holy shit.
And I was just like, what? Like, I'm literally singing on my toilet. Is it literally like a 13-second long clip of me singing Dawns by Zach Bryan? And then people started commenting, and this is the thing people don't know about TikTok is the more comments and the more likes and the more shares and the more favorites and stuff you get in like the first hour gauges how many more people's For You page is on, like they're suggested.
Yeah.
So people are asking about the deer, people are asking about the fish. I was wearing this funky orange sweater. People are asking about my sweater. Like those comments like that kind of help boost the post. So that's kind of where I wonder if the bathroom is kind of a play like that.
Right.
Or I started posting some originals now where I'll be sitting right in front of the camera, kind of just in my bedroom and singing it just straight to the camera. And I'll be like, I don't know, like lots of times I don't have a name for songs. So I'll be like, let me know if you want, like what I should name this one. And then people start commenting stuff or people start liking the song. And
do you ever do like go live on TikTok?
I have once or twice. I've gone live with other people. I see some evenings, some people I follow will be on live with like other musicians, and they just kind of do this one big collab live. You can get like 8 people on there. I haven't, just because like usually by the time I'm watching TikTok, it's like 10 o'clock at night and I'm already in my bed.
Yeah.
But like if I planned it out, I would think about going live. It's just I'd have to like prepare for that in the meantime. And I mean I'm pretty busy, but I feel like that's definitely another step I'd like to do in the future. Like if I can set aside time.
There's somebody we had in the past on the program. Remember Rebecca Strong?
Mm-hmm.
That's what she would do. She built her whole TikTok following and everything only from going live on TikTok. And was she over 1 million?
She had a karaoke machine, and she would sing in that.
That's what it was. That's what her TikToks were.
Yep.
Yeah, and just like freaking skyrocketed up, almost that overnight.
She even hit. She even made CBC News because this girl from a small town in Saskatchewan all of a sudden has a lot of followers, and because of that news article she got more followers. So it's kind of one of those snowball things.
That's crazy.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
Hell yeah.
I would consider going live for sure. I feel like it's just definitely something I need to prep for, but whenever I tune into live videos on TikTok, like I'll just listen, and I'll just like most of the time if I fall asleep on my phone, it's because I'm listening to like a TikTok live or like.
Oh really?
I watch the people. This is gonna sound also weird, but there's people that do the crossword puzzles that are like the scratch tickets. So they're like a lottery ticket, but it's a little crossword. And watching people do that, it's just satisfying. I don't know, but I can watch that. Like I can watch it for like 20 minutes.
That's so funny, man.
I know. But like, and then I hear people singing, and I feel like one big thing with TikTok lives is you got to kind of be a bit of an entertainer as well, because you're kind of like trying to get people to stay on the live, because it takes one swipe and they're gone.
Yep.
So if people don't like, I follow this other guy. His name's Cam Davis, and he's just always telling stories. What he's doing, he's telling stories about how the song got written, talking about showing people his guitars, and he's got all these cool guitars.
Right.
And he's just like a really cool guy, and you almost feel like you're in the room with him. He's just sitting in his bedroom, and he's just talking to the screen and just like going on about stuff, and then he'll sing a couple songs, and you're just like, this is pretty fun. Like I just come to chill out.
And then just look at the comments and whatever there's
scroll
a question.
Through the comments, like if
there's a question,
and like that's what the people, a lot of people do is that just like they'll look through the comments and like ask questions, or like I'll text someone and say like you're doing a great job, and they'll be like, you can interact with people in that way.
Absolutely.
So it's like, I feel like it's definitely one of the better things that's come out of TikTok, because it's kind of bringing, especially with the collaborative ones. Is I got this one guy followed me, and then I followed him back, and then he was live one day, and I just went to tune in, and he invited me, and then we kind of just went song for song for like maybe half hour before.
Man, even that kind of shit's exciting though. Yeah. Hey, like in the moment, like some like Instagram. I use Instagram very frequently. And, if I'm doing a post with like a comedian or a celebrity or something, and I tag them in it, even just them responding to me tagging it, whether they like it or they'll message me like, oh, that was great, or whatever they say, just that gives me a big, like,
or even seeing them in your stories.
Adrenaline rush. Yeah.
The fact that they saw it makes you excited.
Because I'll go back and I look at who, like, so if you guys are paying attention here, Like, I can see you at my end. I know who's looking and who
And
isn't.
he's watching every video that he posts.
I track all that stuff. So, like,
Yeah.
I know who's paying attention and who isn't.
He always gives me shit that I don't watch him.
Yeah, well, you don't.
No.
Yeah.
Don't.
I'll watch them.
I'll even tag him in stuff in hopes that he'll share something or see it. Couldn't give two fucks, man.
I remember when you posted.
That's not true.
You posted it was some guy was like disrespecting touring in Canada or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
no,
that.
don't do that.
Let's tell the YouTube audience what the hell happened here.
No,
So
let's skip this part and just go
we'll
to a happy
we'll
place.
talk about it and I can cut it. Like,
where I got into this was I saw you post that, and then I went on like an hour-long dive just through like all this thing, like because it didn't really explain what happened. So I was just like I was just like looking at this guy and like trying to figure out like what happened. I didn't really know what was going on, and I was like, huh. And that's just the one thing of me talking about how I look at all your stuff because you're always posting something that's cool. So
well, thanks, man. I try and just I this is the difference between him and I. Is that I like to keep my posts genuine and real. Like, whether I'm trying to be funny or I'll just throw a fucking left curve and, I don't know, show a tit or something. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. I'm just having fun with it. Whereas his are all automated posts.
No.
thanks guys for watching the episode.
Yeah, fucking like 90% of those posts are all like auto-generated.
No,
That's
they're not.
not you.
A lot of them are.
That's what I mean. A lot of them are.
Yeah.
That's like, so I'm not in that personally, and like, keep doing what you're doing, man. It's going good. I'm just saying that, like, personally, I've got no interest in that.
But it's also because you have a personal account and mine is a business account. So
yeah,
you have
but
to.
you can still post real shit, man. Make it genuine and from the heart. It's your business. It's coming from you. That's the stuff that I'm interested in.
Sure, but. Okay, all of this has to be cut out.
I love the memes and like weird videos though. Like, I don't know if you've ever scrolled on Instagram Reels.
And I don't. I've got no interest in that.
don't because like you will see some crazy stuff on Instagram Reels. Like, you'll be scrolling, and mine'll be like, this is this guy singing. Next, some guy in some country getting hit by a bus.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
There's
I was like,
no
how do you
structure.
post this on Instagram?
I know.
Because TikTok's not like that. TikTok, if you post like, there's girls like posting like pictures of them in like a bikini, and they're like 21, and they're just taking it down, or like
Right.
they're in a sports
Yeah.
bra and shorts because it's like nudity. And then I scroll onto Instagram, and I'm looking down, and it's just like someone getting like hit by a train. I'm like, how does this
You can
clear
see,
the
you
cut?
can find people dying
Yeah.
on Instagram.
I was
It's
like,
crazy.
how does, and it's just the difference between the apps blows my mind.
Yeah,
So-
well, even X, like Twitter, right? Like, full-on porn on there, man.
Mhm.
Like, you can watch porno on fucking Twitter.
And I thought it changed when Elon Musk took over because like he's this whole like I figured he'd have a better way to curate it or filter it versus like
No,
how
he
Twitter
made it
used
worse.
You
Well,
think so?
Yeah.
Worse?
Yeah.
How? So what's different?
No, worse as in there's way less moderation.
Yeah.
Like anything goes
Well, because
now.
he's trying to advocate for that freedom of speech thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
So I get it. It's like,
it's a
whatever,
shitpool now.
put what you want. I don't know. I think all social media in general is
Garbage.
It's all bullshit.
It's all garbage.
I had this conversation with somebody we all know very recently, and we were talking about that, like numbers and view count and all that. My personal opinion on it, it's all horse shit. Fucking all of it. Your view count, your likes, your comments,
They're vanity
everything that in my opinion, that the industry people are looking at, it's all fake.
Yep.
It's all fake. I'll give you an example. It takes 30 seconds on a YouTube video of view time for it to count as a view. Okay? So what's stopping me from fucking getting multiple devices and syncing them up and hit play, and after 30 seconds, refresh. Do that for an hour, you've got a fucking 1,000 views.
That's the thing
I'm
with
just saying.
It's
It's fake. It's bullshit.
Doesn't work
with
that way.
Spotify is.
But it does, though.
I've been told you have to have if you want to. You can't repeat your song on Spotify. It only counts as one listen.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make a playlist of 3 songs
Right.
and rotate those songs.
Yep.
But I think after like 5 times of it going in a row, it just stops. So like places like that have got that done. But like back to your whole like to 30 seconds to get a view. This is where it comes back to TikTok. I follow this guy where it's called. He does this thing called cowboy surfing. It's gonna sound kind of dumb for you, but I used to work with horses like for the last 5 years of my life. And this guy gets in a truck and he's got a piece of bale twine hooked up to the throttle cable, and he's just dumping flakes of hay off the back. And there's just like 50 horses. Have you seen this?
Yep.
And he's singing all these awesome like country songs, and I just think it's a like cool video. He's got a GoPro on his cowboy hat, and he's doing all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw, and then he got a job ranching, and he's always wearing his GoPro and just showing like TikTok this like cool stuff of like just a day in the life of a guy working a dude ranch. And he actually just shared a video being real with everyone about he has 300,000 followers, 350,000, which on TikTok in theory is not that much.
Okay.
Yep.
Because there's people with 109 million followers.
Okay. Yeah.
And so he's like kind of gotten there, but like not really like he's like a main creator. He's just like he has a lot of followers. People enjoy what he does. And he was just being real with the audience about in the States, there's this thing called the Creator Fund where if you get a certain amount, every 1,000 views, you get $1 or something like that. And in my opinion, a video for it to blow up would be like 1 million views. And with that 1 million views, you're getting maybe 600,000 likes, something like that. You don't, or like less maybe too. It just really depends. I find usually like 2/3 of my every view gets a like on my page. But but he said like he's getting 1 million views or like 300 or 1 million views, but he's only getting 300,000 real views.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't really know what qualifies as a real view, but he's been making like 5 videos a day for a year and a half, and he's made, or like for like 3 years maybe or something like that. And he's talking about how much money he's made, and he's made $30,000, which is quite a bit of money, $30,000 American. But he didn't talk about the fact that like, and he's saying, but if all my views counted, I'd have like $300,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's just where, and it's kind of a vague area of what counts, because they had like a beta where like if you had to make longer than a minute videos, or people had to watch for like this long, and people had to do this, and like.
Well, each platform's got their own criteria of what counts and stuff. But my only point in that is that I'll bring it back to like industry people who are looking at, well, how many views do you have and how much engagement are people having on this?
Bullshit. Don't look at that.
Exactly. That's my point. Don't pay attention to the likes and views and all that other bullshit. Why don't you look at the fucking video that they're posting out there and make your own opinion on the content that they're putting out there?
Yeah.
But so that's my whole point. Like I can make 10 reels and get I don't know how many likes on it, but if nobody buys, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
I don't care how many followers I have. If they don't buy, doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's like, but that was the conversation I was having with this guy is like, none of it means anything because the industry's focused on the wrong thing. They're not looking at the product. They're looking at the view count and the likes and all that. And to me, it's like their heads are so far up their fucking asses, they don't know what they're doing now.
Well, and that's
it
where
makes me sick.
Big brands come in as they do these thing called PR packages now, where they'll send you a box of their stuff.
Yep.
And they'll get you to, because you're getting 3 million views, and they'll get you to open it on video and like talk about all this cool stuff they gave you, like a bottle of vodka and like this little martini mixer or whatnot. And then I saw this company, and it's called Coconut Milk Mob, and it's this girl who like makes bikinis or whatever and sells them. And she's like, she made a video of her getting a PR package, and she's like, I don't like that idea anymore. And like these bikinis are like the shit. And she's like, okay, well, I'm going to send a PR package to 10 random people. Like, just comment below. You have to have less than 1,000 followers. You just got to be like an average person, and I'm just going to send you a bunch of free stuff because you're the ones watching the videos, and you're not going to be purchasing any of this anyway. So why don't I just send you guys the real stuff and what you want, and you guys can just enjoy it and maybe talk about it on your page. But like, I want to actually give you something instead of you're just watching this because you're not really getting a benefit from it. And I thought that was a super cool idea.
That is a good idea.
And that was a good way to also get engagement. And there was just like a bunch of people commenting, and she actually followed through and sent them all out and didn't scam them like a lot of people are doing nowadays. And
fuck yeah.
I thought that was very genuine as a business owner to do something like that.
That's actually how we got a big bump on our subscribers on the YouTube channel when we started it as well. As we kicked it off with the giveaway. I don't remember. We partnered with Audio Technica there.
Yeah, it was an Audio Technica turntable. There was a groove washer, record cleaner in there, a couple of records, sleeves, something like that. It was a big box of stuff
for people who collect vinyl, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, all right, when we reach this goal, we'll do. Or I don't even remember how we did it. It was something like comment something or other. and then you'll be entered into the draw. And when we reach this goal, we'll do the draw. And fuck, it didn't take long, and we hit our goal right away.
Yeah.
We should think about doing something else like that again.
Mm-hmm.
This next one's called Whiskey.
Hey, you told me, son, there are things to be done. I never thought it'd end up this way. And I drown myself in the things that kill my health, while you're sitting putting me right up on the shelf. And I doubt you're surprised when that look in your eyes still plays in my brain. The only thing keeping me sane is all this cocaine and the dumbass songs I write. And you don't know how much I'd pay not to live another day. Well, you're out with your new man. 'Cause there's prices on whiskey that I can't afford. Well, you're out in this brand new F-254. And mama says I need some help, but I just need some rum. 'Cause there's some things in this life that you just can't outrun. I get up and go to work and spend all day just kicking dirt, waiting for my shift to end. The bar's always open when my heart's slowly closing, doing 115 drunk around the bend. And by the time that I get home, I'm just looking for a bump, get out of my own head. When I close and knock the door and I'm lying on the floor, sitting there half lifeless, well, I still think you're priceless. 'Cause there's prices on whiskey that I can't afford. But you're out in this brand new F-254. And mama says I need some help, but I just need some rum. 'Cause there's some things in this life that you just can't outrun. The only thing that I got left is something to prove. But what on earth's worth proving when you've got nothing to lose? 'Cause there's prices on whiskey that I can't afford. But you're out in this brand new F-254. And mama says I need some help, but I just need some rum. 'Cause there's some things in this life that you just can't outrun. You just can't outrun.
I've been posting TikTok since I was like 10, 11 or 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
Like, I've been posting them for a lot of years, and like literally just till 8 months ago, I had just reached like 1,000 followers.
Right.
And then I post this video and I get 10,000 in a week. And I mean, from there, I was at 12,000 and now I'm at 15.2. So it's like a slow climb. And I mean, I kind of help the strangers again, but even then, like, so that's why I'm kind of trying to use it to my advantage. But
Absolutely.
like, for me to even hit that break, I follow probably 60 people that are these smaller musicians that are just so good, and I comment on their videos and I repost them, so my followers are seeing that I repost them, and I'm just trying to like promote people.
Exactly. Yep. I think that's the right way to do it. You know, people ask me that too, and I'm like, but I engage You know,
Yeah.
I had this talk with our boys at Prehistoric Productions as well too. We were talking about the differences between platforms, right? And I was asked, well, okay, when you're looking at somebody's stories, do you watch it start to finish, or you just click? And I'm like, no, I'll fucking pop me some popcorn, man. I'm watching those stories start to finish. If you see
But you're weird.
my profile that looked at your stories, know that I took in all the information that you were putting in there. I'm not just clicking the fucking button. I want to pay attention. If it's something that I like, I'll comment. I'll engage that way right away. So that you know that I am engaging, right? And I was doing that consistently, and then I've seen a turnaround. Like, there's people now, they're doing it back, and it's like, okay, I know you're paying attention, and that's I like that engagement, that back and forward. It's like you're not just fucking talking to air here,
Or
you
like
know?
you'll see like 600 views on your like story, and then there's like 13 likes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with that? Like, right? It doesn't make sense.
And I noticed like a lot of people, like, especially for the younger generation, when I post my Capital show, everyone's like, yeah, I'm gonna come. I didn't see any other faces there. That's why I think I need to start promoting my shows a little bit less time in advance. Not like before, it was like 4 months. Teenagers don't have the attention span for that.
Right.
No.
So I think if I start promoting it, like I have this one in May 30th. If I start promoting this one at the Capitol again, like in the next week or two, I feel like that'll kind of just give people, like, I'll let people know, and then I'll start like actually hardcore posting it a little bit more closer to the date.
Yeah.
When people, and because like people just like, they'll be like, oh, like I want to go to that show next.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
why I started making the band practice TikToks, like I was telling you about, where I record our band practicing for like an hour. And at the start of the thing, I said, hey, I'm Kieran Gardner, and these are the Blucher Boys, and welcome to our band practice. And it's just, there's a clip of like Trey, I was playing my original song, and he just started shredding like a really intense guitar solo in the middle of it, or just like random funny things like that. And like when I tripped on my mic stand, and just like that one got 8,000 views, and then I started getting actual comments saying like, oh, we should swing by, or like, should they tag their friend and be like, we should go, we're bar hopping that night, we should swing by. And sadly it's sold out, but like people were like invested and wanted to come.
Yeah.
So that's where like it was like I kind of reached where I was like, maybe TikTok is kind of good for promoting like real life stuff too, like in-person gigs, not just like your other social medias and your music you can get online.
Absolutely, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think just like use every platform to your advantage.
Yeah.
The shitty thing is like it's easy enough to cross post, right? Like my Instagram is synced with my Facebook, so whatever I put on Instagram, it's going up on Facebook. Anyway, but the algorithms are just so different on each platform,
And the audience is different.
and the audience is different. That's right. So
Yep.
yeah, you just gotta figure it out, which I think you're doing. I think you're doing a great job of it, man. And I think you're a phenomenal performer. And I strongly believe there's bigger things coming, man. I know you've had a crazy year, and this one's just kicking off, man. There's gonna be fucking a shit ton.
I think
more.
if you keep doing what you're doing, you don't need your plumbing stuff.
yeah, you might get to a point.
Well, you never know. What if the tour bus toilet breaks?
There you go. You shouldn't be using
Touché.
that. You shouldn't be using that toilet. Don't
No.
use tour bus toilets.
That's
man.
kind of always a rule on our football team. It's like you don't, and like we had a bus trip to Assiniboia, and we live in Clavet, and we got switched football conferences because we were so good. And you don't use that toilet. That's like the rule. And this one guy used the toilet, and our coach, who was sitting at the front of the bus, came back and yelled at him. He's like, our coach is also a hockey coach. He's like, if anyone uses that bathroom on our bus for number 2, that's a $200 fine.
Yeah.
The parents pay. You go to the bathroom before you leave, and you hold it in. When you get there, you guys can unleash on the bathrooms, whatever. But it's just like, yeah. But back to what I was saying about my plumbing. I think, I don't know. I've definitely been like putting a lot more work into music like the last year than I did before, because like I still had a childhood. I was still playing sports all the time. I was still really busy, but I feel like now I can kind of branch myself out a bit more and find my own time. And I mean, my parents live close enough to the city where I can still live with them for a couple of years before I can have kind of that extra income from me working to put towards my music before I have to worry about rent and all that stuff. So I'm kind of also grateful for them. They've been so supportive of me, as well as like my sister, just kind of like helping me promote stuff or like giving me a couple extra $100 if I need to replace something that broke of mine and then they've just been like, I've been very fortunate to have people that like have been backing me up all the way, and like maybe 40 people at the Capitol were like my mom's friends from work.
Hell
yeah.
Because they just wanted to come.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And like it's kind of cool because like all the old people sat in the back, and then like all the young kids are up like dancing in the front because there's an all ages show, which Mitch said apparently is becoming a thing now because the guy who opened for me, Evan, is now doing his own headliner show in June, and he's like, maybe you guys are gonna make this a thing at the Capitol because they made the Steven Lee Olsen show all ages too,
Right.
because I was opening,
Right.
which I think I only brought in like 5 or 6 minors in there. The rest of them were like, but they just adapted like the wristband thing. Like you get a wristband when you come in the door, show them your ID, you can go to the bar.
Yeah, and as long as they're like they've got their guardians or chaperones or whatever
as long
it
as
is,
you have
it's
someone
like,
over there. It's the same as when we go to open mic.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Like I'd bring my dad with me and he'd come and watch.
I think
hang
a
out.
lot like I don't know. I'd be speaking out of pocket if I said they're all like that, but I do believe that a lot of venues, like that's in their not contracts. That's in their insurance policies. Like they're insured for that. So yeah, I might be speaking out of pocket on that, but to me it just like it makes sense.
I think it depends on what kind of insurance you have and what kind of liquor license you have. and all that
I
jazz.
feel like the Capitol's a bit different because it's open
it's a
all day. Like it's a restaurant.
it's
Like
a-
Yeah,
kids,
they
kids are
yeah.
allowed in there till a certain time. So I feel like if they put on an all ages show with like limitations, I feel like that would be okay. But
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
I know some places. Obviously, as an entertainer, you can be any age and go play
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah,
like
'cause what's a fucking party club in Saskatoon?
Long Branch.
Long Branch.
I
So,
played.
yeah,
at the Long, I played at the Long Branch.
So I don't know if they would let minors in at Long Branch.
No, they wouldn't let minors in to watch.
Yeah.
But I played an SCMA showcase there, and
into the back door, out to the back door.
they let me in through the normal door, and they gave me a
Oh,
yellow
okay.
wristband. I mean, I
Okay.
played at 8:30, and like after
Right.
me was like a couple people I didn't know that it was Adam Johnson, Caitlin Leonard, like at the end of the night, just part of the
Right.
showcase.
Right, yeah.
Which they would actually had like people coming to watch them. I was like, that was my first ever show was at the Long Branch, and when I tell you I had 8 songs and I think I got them done in 20 minutes, or like maybe 25. I was just ripping through like,
Dude, you fucking did the 3 songs tonight in 11 minutes, man.
okay, well 3 songs is like 9
Yeah,
minutes.
9 minutes. They had 3.5-minute songs. That's normal.
That's perfection. Dude.
I just didn't waste time. Also, my songs are a little more like when I'm playing them acoustic, I cut out kind of the junk parts. Like the last one I played,
The junk parts.
the junk parts are like I had like 2 bars where I'm supposed to be playing the harmonica, but like I don't have my harmonica, so I'm not just gonna sit there awkwardly and play the guitar for like 30 seconds.
Go
just
through
like,
the motions. Of,
just like looking around
This is where
everywhere.
you say. So this is the part where I play harmonica.
Yeah. Or I'll just sing it. Yeah. That was at the Capitol. I was kind of worried about that because like I had to go through the transition of my harmonica being on the stand in my mouth while playing the guitar and then trying to sing. But then when I was practicing, my harmonica kept hitting the mic. So I'd quickly just go like this and like pull it down. And then, I mean, it worked. We just left my harmonica by the drum set the whole time. And I mean, at the Backyard Bash, we went so in depth that we had smoke machines. We had an explosives unit. That's what we call it, explosives unit. It was my 2 buddies. They had lit off fireworks, and we had smoke machines before we came out. And we played this one rock song. It's not a rock song. That's by Cole Wetzel. It's called Fuss and Fight, and it's like good old like just grimy guitar, like dun and then it's just like. It's so fun to play.
Hell
but
yeah.
that's like that's like our theme song as a band. Like we don't play a show where we don't play Fuss and Fight. And the only problem is we messed it up so bad because they started shooting fireworks off, and as we walked out I started singing and realized I didn't have my in-ears in and I didn't have a monitor. So I'm like trying to play with my in-ears, and like as I'm putting it in, I'm pulling the mic away from my mouth.
Oh,
and
man.
it was no one really noticed because that was already halfway through the show. We took a little 15-minute break, but like we just did an outfit change. Like we took my sunglasses off because I thought I was really cool like that. And yeah, that was that was odd, but in general, like that's what we kind of do, is just trying to have fun as a group.
absolutely.
And, like we didn't get to do any outfit changes at the Capitol, sadly. Trey could have, because he went off for one of my originals because he didn't really need a lead guitar, but we did put on cowboy hats for a brief time just for John Deere Green. And like I said, it being fun, I love Evan as a guy. I've known him for a couple of years now, and I brought him out to sing John Deere Green with me as a duet, and then we did Revival by Zach Bryan as our last song, which Zach Bryan also does in concert, but it's just so hype and everyone knows the song. So we just do like 7 extra courses. And by the time I lose my voice, and Evan came out and did that with us, and we just, I'll show you guys the pictures later, but the ones our photographer got of us just having a whale of a time, like me and Trey playing back to back or like pointing at the camera.
Hell yeah,
so
dude.
it's just like, and like my photographer, I didn't hire a big company. I hired the opener, Jana, her sister's boyfriend. He's just another 16-year-old kid that takes pictures of vehicles. And I was like, here, like I'll pay you $20. He's like, $20 an hour in an editing fee. I was like, sure, I'll give you $100. Come take pictures for us.
Yeah.
And like he just more opportunities for him. Like for the Backyard Bash, I hired my sister's friend. I didn't really need to hire like someone that's like a photography company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to give like other young people a break like I'm getting.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, we've had that conversation on the show a few times too, of like, you know, people taking videos and pictures from the crowd and stuff, which is fine. But, you know, as an artist, I don't think you should rely on those for like your posts and stuff.
No.
Like hire somebody to do it so it's done right. Definitely.
So I was gonna hire a videographer for the Capitol, but I didn't end up getting him because I guess I just kind of blanked out. And I did use 2 videos from the audience on my Instagram post.
Did you
say that? But I feel like I don't rely on them by any means. Like I feel like I mostly just post pictures anyways. And for maybe the next time we do the Capitol, I'll get a videographer. I just want to see kind of what it was like before I kind of,
hell yeah,
because I know
it's
that
your
Cooper,
first time,
because Cooper had do you know SJ Kardash?
Yep.
I do. I know of him.
So SJ, he was Cooper's producer, and SJ was actually the guy who used to teach me guitar when I was like 6. Too.
Okay.
That's one
I've
way
heard
I remember him.
so many good things about that guy.
I contacted him a while ago just to kind of see like how he's doing, because I remember when I was like younger, we were in like their spare bedroom upstairs, and then right before I quit, he had built this super nice studio in his basement with like the whole glass wall and like the big mixer and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so cool. But he filmed Cooper's Koopalooza, his Backyard Bash, which Koopalooza is the actually original one, but and Cooper used that as his music video for one of his songs. It was like kind of a party song. It was him playing it. I'm in the video having a whale of a time in the front row, and then it just like kind of captured the kind of night in like a song and used it as a music video. I thought that was super cool, and I think definitely in order to help for grants as a young guy, I kind of want some more. That's kind of why I did my music video, just to kind of show the people I'm applying grants for. So I'm not paying for all the stuff on my own. Just to kind of show them that I'm serious about it. That's kind of, and I also got all this info from Jesse. I shouldn't be taking credit for it. Like I said, Jesse's helped me a lot along the way, and Andrea. Both of them are amazing. They did my music video for me. They had coached me through it, but they sent me all the bunch of grants to apply for, and they just kind of told me what to make sure, like, don't answer it too quick. Like, give them a good explanation of what's going on in your music career, like your next future stepping stones and all this stuff. And like, I feel like with their help, that's kind of one of the reasons I've gotten a lot more serious, is because I've taken a lot more into account. Like, I've already planned out when I want to release my next song, what I want to do with the EP, which songs I want to do, kind of like what vibe I'm going for, and like even like me and Jesse sat down and last time before Strangers Again came out, like 2 months before, and planned out my next like 8 months.
Yeah, exactly.
And just had that there.
You have to do that. You have to plan for it. You can't just go out on a whim and like with no plan. Yeah. Right?
Yep.
Like there has to be goals that are set, and you need steps to achieve those goals, right?
Yeah. So shout out to Nolita Studio.
Yeah. Shout out to Jesse and Andrea.
Hey-o.
I just wanted to point at the cameras.
We should get them on here, Jesse.
Yeah, we should.
You should. Jesse's a super cool dude. I really like what he does. And I mean, like, totally having him in there, because we kind of have 2 different views of like the music we record. So having us both in there, just kind of sometimes when we kind of bicker at each other, and then we end up with like this amazing end result, is kind of just like one of the best parts, I think, because like he makes a lot more pop country stuff. I do a lot more like folk country, where like if I'm a little flat on a note, that just adds to the vibe, I like to say.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like together as a team, I feel like we both kind of have our boundaries, and that kind of helps us, me not always saying yes to everything he does, and having my own opinion, and we end up just coming together, and what we end up with at the end, I'm always happy with. Like last December, my first single I released was just like Jesse added in piano, which I didn't even know I knew, or like he pushed me to do an extra harmony with my friend Chloe. He's like, why don't you do a triple harmony in Strangers Again? I was like, Jesse, I don't want a harmony. And then we recorded it. He's like, you might like it. And then we actually listened to it. I was like, okay, that's fucking awesome.
That's actually really good. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So-
Joel and I kind of want to do that, but we just bicker.
Yeah.
We don't.
We bicker, but we always it always turns out good, and we always have fun.
Yes.
We always say it's about the fun. It's not about anything else. Like truth be told, we could have 0 subscribers, 0 followers, 0
We're
likes.
still doing this.
We're still fucking gonna be doing this, man, because we're having a blast.
Oh, I like doing podcasts. This is my first time ever doing a podcast, sorry. But I listen to a lot of podcasts, mainly Joe Rogan.
Hell yeah.
And like he's had other a lot of musicians on there, like Jelly Roll, Zach Bryan.
Yep.
Like guys I listen to, Charles Wesley Godwin, like. And I was just like, as soon as that's why I contacted you guys again, because I knew we were talking about doing one. I was like, we never planned that out. Maybe I'll ask them if they have one available. And I was like, and then today I was just listening to more podcasts. Well, anywhere I'm driving over 45 minutes, I'm listening to a podcast.
Yeah.
Dude,
Otherwise,
that's like
it's
I
just
hear
kind
ya.
of like my rule of thumb.
It's like that's my nighttime routine after my kid goes to bed. It's like there's probably a dozen weekly podcasts that I don't just listen to them, I watch them. Like we'll curl up on the couch and we'll throw it on and we watch these. But yeah, there's a solid
And by we,
dozen.
he doesn't mean we. He means him
me and
his
my wife.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that's one variable on how this all started, is just my love for podcasting and watching them on YouTube and Spotify and everything. And we figured we'd give it a shot, and here we are 4 years later, continuing to evolve. We're doing a live show, a live recording next week, next Friday, February 9th. So this episode, when this comes out, it would have already happened. But
It was great.
Yeah, it was crazy awesome.
I can vouch for that. I was totally there.
Yeah. We're opening the show for Dead Levy and Braden King at the Revival Room in Regina next week.
Braden King.
Yeah,
He
you should
become
come.
a big name.
Yeah, he's good shit, man. He's been on the
Next
show a couple
weekend,
times.
Next weekend.
Love that
Next
guy.
weekend I got to meet with Jesse to talk about my EP. Sorry.
Bring Jesse, come along.
Maybe we'll do a little road trip.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Well, you can also see Braden at Moose Fest.
That's right.
Right?
He's headlining.
We have announced it,
I
but not.
watched the thing and you guys planned him out for 2024.
Yeah,
That's right.
We were trying to get him the last 2 years in a row, and just scheduling issues, it wouldn't work out. And we
He's
were
a
like,
busy guy.
We gotta fucking get you this time.
I didn't really catch it because I didn't really know the Capitol was like 18 or 19 plus when I was a while ago. But like I knew Cooper was playing there, and I kind of knew Cooper, so I kind of stood outside, and I heard Braden King play, and then I saw this whole American Idol thing, and then I now I follow him on TikTok.
Yeah,
We follow each other on Instagram. I've never reached out. Maybe that's something I should do in the future.
you should, man.
Yeah.
He's a fucking solid dude. He's good shit.
I know he's played in Bradwell. That's the guys that I play in my band with. They live in Bradwell.
Right.
And Bradwell is even smaller than about the same size Clavet, maybe 150 people.
I think that's where that Will Ardell video was.
No.
Bradwell
Bradwell.
Bar, Hank's Tavern, probably.
Oh, Hank's Tavern. Yep.
There's a lot of people that play there.
That wasn't.
Oh, I think Evan opened for Will Ardell there.
That wasn't that one. The music video was shot in Elbow
Oh,
or something, but there was.
I went and saw Will and Burke perform there.
You did see someone at Hank's Tavern.
I think I've been there a couple times. Anyways,
Anywho.
yeah. Well, I know like Adam's
Josh
played
and
there.
Adam Johnson were there not that long
Yeah.
ago.
Adam plays there a decent amount.
Yeah.
I know that Braden King did play there though, and that's somewhere I've yet to go. I feel like it's kind of become like for a little smaller tour, like that's kind of just one of the places.
Yeah.
And I don't really know why it's Bradwell, but there's people that come from Saskatoon and go to Bradwell to watch shows.
I think it's because the people who run that venue they're fans of live music.
Yeah,
And
well,
I think,
Hank is
you
his
know-
name, and he's
Yeah.
But okay, but there was a woman that was there, and she just kept saying, "I'm Hank. I'm Hank." I don't know. Anyways, maybe yeah, it's not. I wasn't talking to
maybe
the
it
right
was an
person.
elbow.
maybe I'm missing something too. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I might have two different venues mixed up there.
But I was also thinking, have you like Big Mers in Dundurn? That's another place that's supposed to be like one of those cooler little small town venues to play.
Right.
We don't have anything like that in Clavet. But we do have a motel, cafe, bar, and an off sale all in one building. That's kind of like our landmark. And a dance studio that was an old gas station.
That's why Clavet is a destination.
Well, and you can't miss it because it's purple. The whole building is purple.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
But it's funny because it's a one single floor building, so it's like I don't know, like 60 yards long. It's just like one big purple building.
You could throw a hell of a party there, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd want to go in the motel part. That part has not been touched in a long time. But that's kind of like, it's right across from the school. You just walk. We have these underground tunnels. I don't know if you've been to Clavet.
Not in an
No.
underground tunnel, no.
No, sorry. They go under because that used to be the highway that goes
Right.
through Clavet. But now it's not. But there's tunnels so people could go from town and back to school without going over the highway.
Interesting.
So yeah, there's like little tunnels, and you just walk through the tunnel, and you go.
How many beers did you hammer down in that tunnel in your day?
I never did.
Yeah, I bet.
No, but
That's awesome.
yeah.
Freaking rights. But I think we're running low on time here. So, Kieran, I thank you for coming out here. I want you to know that you are a friend of the herd.
Yeah, well,
Like,
it was
truthfully.
a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for having me.
Hell yeah. So be sure to follow Kieran on his socials. We'll have the links to that below.
Especially TikTok.
Yeah, follow his TikTok and ours. But yeah, open door policy here, man. Anytime you want to come back or just come hang out with us, like, you know how to get a hold of us, man. We'd
Welcome to the herd.
love to have you back.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Well, I mean, I had a fun time. Time flew by. I felt like it was like 20 minutes.
Freaking right.
You might have
Love
to do
it.
this again.
I'm sure.
All right. Thank you, Kieran. Thank you guys at home, and we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba